Great. So, welcome. If you are new here, just let me know in the chat so I can, or in the comments, so I can adapt a few things. So, just let me know, and I will be reading or trying to read the comments, especially the ones in YouTube, which are a bit more slow. So, it maybe takes some time. But if you are new, let me know if you are in which stage you are now, dating, not dating, single, divorced, married, whatever. So I can address directly to your state. I can make this even more personalized and even more focused. Annie says here from Zoom, Zoom is easier for me to read. Thank you for joining through Zoom, Annie. Not everyone can do it. I know it's not so easy to use, but thank you so much. And Annie says, I'm new and single in Washington State. Okay, perfect. I hope the time is fitting for you because I changed the playshop times so it is more fitting for America in general. So I'm I'm glad that I see more ladies from America joining. Very happy to see that because of these changes. That's why I need to use so much lighting because it's night for me. But this is great. Amazing. So thank you so much. I will, if I read something in YouTube a bit late, I will also stop it a little bit. No worries. So, the topic of today is a bit more body related. Here we do somatic work and we connect body and mind, and it's not only mindset work, and it's not only dating work, and it's not only femininity work, but it's all together and all intertwined. And this play shop, I must say, is highly focused on the body because we are opening the founding membership for Empress Body Mind Connection. And therefore, I wanted to do a very special play shop because of that. Because I'm very happy we can start this new program amongst all my programs. So, the topic is the body that still expects survival cannot receive love. And we are gonna go very deep into why this is happening, how to solve it, and how we can, in the practical level in our body, connect. That's why you also see me today wearing this is actually my ballet body style leotard and some more like comfortable clothes as usually in the play shops. I would be more elegant, but for today is very practical. I wanted that later you can see my whole body and you can see the movement and really learn it because we are going to release emotions through our body. This is amazing work. So, yeah, basically what we will work on today is explaining why you cannot create a peaceful relationship, a peaceful marriage from a body that still expects survival. Because if our body feels unsafe, we are expecting survival, and this is not helping us in our dating. Not at all. So, before we begin today, of course, I want to remind you why you are probably here. Most likely not because something is wrong with you, not because you need fixing, but because you desire more. A life where you are supported, a relationship where you are cherished, a man who wants to provide, protect, and build with you. And this is not fantasy. This is what happens when a woman is deeply embodied. When a woman is deeply at her root, at her core, and available for real love. This is what happens. This is not fantasy. And I can tell you because I thought this relationship, this marriage was fantasy. I thought so too. I don't judge because I thought it was fantasy. 8 years ago, for example, my dating life looked very different. I was even in a long term relationship, very serious long term relationship, even committed in a relationship where I was overgiving. I was confused. I was attracting everything that in this man that I was dating for the longest time at that time, someone who didn't really choose me fully. Because I was even at some point like providing, but not just 50-50, sometimes even more. Like really, it was something really bad and it became even toxic. And it took me time to escape that relationship because I almost had to sue him. Like the police was asking me, please, Angela, sue him because we cannot protect you. And he's following after you in the street. Like, it was even becoming dangerous. But at some point, it dissolved luckily, and I didn't even have to sue because, going through these processes is something really not nice. So I was very thankful to life that it ended up and it finished. So you can imagine. And after that, of course, like not everything was so extreme, but I was not really, I was attracting men who didn't choose me fully. And what changed everything for me was not learning more strategies. It was, of course, the healing process I took after all of these traumatic events, of course. But it was not just learning and healing and checking for more strategies. What really helped me was changing the state of my nervous system and my emotional states. This scale of states we were checking in the last play shop, if you were here, going through that. And it was also learning how to shift my identity. This is a big one we will talk about today because I see many women who join the program or many women with whom I talk and they don't even join the program that they struggle with identity shift. And this is normal because identity shift is no joke. It takes you to places that sometimes you don't want to be. It's a process and it's difficult sometimes, but it's worth it, I can tell you. Another thing that helped me a lot was learning how to stop living from survival. And this is also a big topic today. And also start becoming the woman who could receive. You see it in my programs, becoming the dream woman. Because the dream woman is the woman who is chosen fully and provided for and protected for. Because this dream woman is someone you become, and then you attract this type of men. Because let me tell you, also, the problem was never men. If you are one of these women who are always complaining about men, this is probably not the place for you. And if you want to change that, if you are that woman and you want to change that, this is the place for you. If all the men around you, they have things you complain about, I get it. I understand. I was there. Of course, I was there. But if you want to change that, and therefore the men who are around you will change too, and you will have a different opinion, this is the right place to be. And let me tell you that also the problem is not you and was never you. Not now, not then, not in the middle of your identity shift. Never you. Never men, never you. It was the way your body learned to survive instead of receive. Because one of the things we will learn here today is receiving. You need to be in your receiving to attract this kind of marriage, to do dating for marriage in general. So today we are going deeper because there is something I see again and again in women who desire marriage. They say they want a different life, but they do not always want to become different. And this is where the real resistance begins. Because dating for marriage requires this identity shift we were talking about, not becoming someone fake, not at all, not performing femininity, not becoming passive, not even becoming less ambitious. I know most of us, we are high achieving. We want to have it all, and we want to do it all. I get it. But also not becoming less intelligent, not becoming less high achieving. But what we do is release the identity that was built around survival. So all those things, if you are successful, you are not too successful to find the provider, the protector man that you wish for. Not at all. You get to stay as successful as you are and even become more successful when you find your husband. Really, I can tell you. Because this is my story nowadays. So all of this I told you about 8, 10 years ago, nothing to do now. Now I'm married to a man who is providing, protecting, but not only economically, but also emotionally, and even helping me with what I do now that I do what I love. Now that I got to forget about 9 to 5 jobs, 9 to 5 things that I didn't like and I didn't enjoy, and now that I get to do what is my purpose, what is my meaning. And he's even helping me with that among all the things that he does. So you can see that it's not fantasy. It really is possible. And I'm not 20 years old and a model, you know. I am just a regular woman, 34 years old. Like, really, it's not that I found this when I was 20 and looking fabulous and fake boobs or anything. Not at all. That's not the identity shift that you need. It happens really inside. And it also requires a lot from you. You need to be able to sustain a successful man. But this is what this identity shift will give you. Because the identity that says, I have to do everything alone, I have to control everything, I have to be the strong one, this identity cannot build this type of relationship. Or if you say, yeah, I cannot need too much, I cannot depend on anyone, I cannot soften, because softness is dangerous or something like that. I cannot receive because receiving means losing control. And many women say that. But then there are others who say even things that are even more dangerous, I would say. And they say, I've accepted I may stay alone. I've accepted I stay alone forever. And I hear this, and this hurts me because I know it's not coming from really accepting. I say this with love, but if you are thinking that, have you really accepted that? Or are you exhausted? Have you truly made peace with that? Or have you built a wall around a desire that still lives inside you? Because if you are here, if you are listening, if you are in the WhatsApp Telegram group, getting the value, getting the PDFs, enjoying it, if something in you still desires marriage, if something in you still desires to be loved, chosen, protected, provided for, and deeply met, then the desire is still alive. And if the desire is still alive, it matters. You don't have to shame it. You don't have to suppress it. You don't have to pretend you are above it. Not at all. A good desire is not weakness. A good desire is direction. A marriage, healthy, conscious, aligned marriage is a good desire. But here is the part that many women don't want to hear. If you want a different reality, you cannot keep living from the same identity. You cannot keep dating from the same body. You cannot keep choosing from the same nervous system. You cannot keep saying you want to be supported while your entire body is bracing against support. You cannot keep saying you want to receive while your identity is still built around control. This is why dating for marriage is not just about finding a man. Not at all. It is about becoming the woman who can actually live the life she says she wants and getting ready for that. So, we're gonna jump into a little bit of why dating for marriage matters, why the way we date and that we do it for marriage is important, especially nowadays. Because now we've named the identity piece. But I would like that we come back a little bit to the foundation of this work because I'm reading also in YouTube and in Zoom that some of you are new here. You know, so the ones who were already in a few play shops, who are in the programs, you will know a bit more about this. But if you are new, I need to give a little introduction of why dating for marriage matters. Because it matters, you know, but not from pressure, not from the pressure of I need to marry before I'm 25. No, not like that. Not from ideology, also, not from fear, not even from religion, because we have here women from all religions, even no religion. Is not only because of that. Okay, religion could be a big part, but there are also many things that are affecting it. And actually, dating for marriage comes from coherence because dating for marriage creates direction. And direction matters because your body relaxes when it knows where it is going. When there is no direction, when there is no intention, no container, your body is left in ambiguity. And ambiguity, let me tell you, I've been there, is expensive. Situationships cost more than people admit. They cost time, they cost energy, they cost emotional clarity, they cost self trust, and even your nervous system. Because when you are banded to someone who is unclear, your body keeps scanning. Where is this going? Does he want me? Is he serious? Should I wait? Should I ask? Am I too much? All these kind of things. Am I asking for too much? And for high achieving women, this becomes especially exhausting because you are already used to producing, performing, holding, organizing, managing, leading, all of that. We are used to that. So when dating becomes another place where you have to hold everything, your body starts resisting. And then you think, I don't feel like dating. I don't want to go on a date and I'm tired. And then you suddenly cancel. I don't know if I even want marriage anymore because I hear this every day. But often it is not that you don't want love, it is that your body does not want more emotional labor because this feels like labor. And it does not want more uncertainty, more performing. It does not want another space where you have to hold the whole structure. And this is why dating for marriage matters because it removes ambiguity. It creates direction. It filters men who are not oriented towards building. It protects your emotional field, your time, your self trust, and it allows you to stop giving intimate access to men who are not available for real responsibility. And let me tell you, this has no age. Not giving intimate access is not only reserved for 20 years old. If you are 40, 50, 60, you can also do that. You have a right, and it is not a fantasy again, that you can stop giving intimate access before marriage. It is true. So, waiting for commitment is not repression. It is self respect, it is energetic hygiene, it is emotional clarity and nervous system protection. And I know some women hear this and think this sounds restrictive. I understand. I thought so too in the past. But restriction is not the same as direction. Direction creates freedom because now your energy is not being wasted on what is not aligned. Now your body knows. I'm not dating to be entertained. I'm not dating to be chosen by anyone. I'm not dating to prove my worth. I'm not dating to rescue potential. I'm dating for marriage. I'm dating for alignment. I'm dating for the life I'm actually building. And this is where your whole identity begins to change. Because a woman dating for marriage does not move like a woman waiting to be validated. She moves like a woman building a life. So, yes, now we need to talk a bit more about the body. Because many women are trying to create softness mentally while their body is still physically bracing. They understand everything, they know the standards, they know the red flags, they know what they want, they've read the books, they've done the inner work, but then a man pulls away, a message doesn't come, chemistry appears, a boundary needs to be expressed, or someone shows interest, and suddenly the body takes over. And the mind says, I know my worth, but the body says, am I safe? Will I be abandoned? Do I need to control this? Do I need to perform? Do I need to make this work? And this is why this work cannot stay at the level of information. Because information can give you awareness, but integration is what changes your life. And probably if you are here, you don't need more information, most likely. Don't you think? If you are here, probably you are very highly educated on all of this. But what you need is a body that finally feels safe enough to stop controlling, to stop overgiving, and start receiving. because what we want is to start receiving. And this is the core sentence for today. We said it, but we will repeat it again and again. You cannot create a peaceful relationship or marriage from a body that still expects survival. Say that to yourself or write it down if you can. Because you cannot create a peaceful relationship from a body that still expects survival. This is not about blaming the body. The body is intelligent. The body protected you, and the body learned, adapted, and helped you survive, really. But at some point, the identity that protected you becomes the identity that blocks you. And if your body has spent years bracing, years preparing, anticipating disappointment, holding everything together, then receiving love may not feel relaxing at first. It may feel unfamiliar, vulnerable, unsafe. And that is why we work through the body here. And today we are going to work specifically with one part of the body. Okay, because in the program we are introducing today, I will tell you later, we will work with releasing our whole body mind connection. So we will go almost inch by inch of our body releasing. But today for this play shop, I wanted to focus on one of the muscles that is more connected to our emotional pain and to our emotional restraints. Let me know in the chat or in the comments which one you think you is. Because probably because it's a typical muscle where some of us have some pain, or when we try to stretch it, it's hurting. And this is coming both physically and emotionally, and it is everything connected. And yes, probably you guess it. It is the psoas or hip flexors, okay? I may call it one or the other. So psoas, hip flexors. Okay, in case you don't know what it is connecting our hips and our legs. And it's a very, very long muscle, and it's interconnecting our upper body and lower body. So it is really, really important to take care of it, and it's also very connected to emotions. So yes, today we are going to work specifically with this part, and we're going to release the emotional stuckness, the emotional pain that is more related to this area of the body, which is very related to feminine energy and dating and relationships. So it will be very, very useful. And I want to be clear, this is not medical treatment. If you have pain, injuries, pregnancy, surgeries, or anything that makes this movement or the type of movement, which I tell you is very, very slow and simple movement, this is nothing like fitness or anything. But if you have something that makes this movement unsafe for you, you can modify, go slowly, or simply watch. And here, if you want to have your camera on, for those of you who are in Zoom, in YouTube is not possible, so that I can check and maybe correct, feel free to do so. I will be watching, okay? So if you feel like doing that, you can do so. And for those of us who have some injuries, please modify or just watch and then evaluate maybe with your doctor. Because this is gentle body awareness and this is nervous system connection. Let me know in the chat or in the comments if you did some nervous system work before. Probably most of you did something, but this is even a step forward. This is not on the basic. This is a step forward to connecting the body and mind and regulating nervous system. So yeah, this is also not forcing. And the psoas, just so you know, is one of the deepest muscles in the body, which, like I said, is connecting lower back, pelvis, and upper leg. It is involved in hip flexion, posture, and the way the upper and lower body communicate. And symbolically, like I was saying, somatically, many women experience this area as a place of deep holding. The hips, the pelvis, the lower belly, the front of the body sometimes, the place where we often brace, protect, tighten, anticipate, control. And think about how many women live sitting for hours, contracted, working, producing, holding their breath, tightening the stomach, gripping the hips, living from the head basically, disconnecting from the pelvis and from everything, from the lower body, from softness. And then they wonder why receiving feels difficult, why surrender feels difficult, why intimacy even feels difficult, or rest feels difficult, being held even feels unfamiliar, and why the body wants to control everything. This is why we bring the body into dating for marriage. Because dating for marriage is not only about standards, it is about the body that holds the standards. It is about the body that receives the man, the body that chooses, that says yes, that says no when it's needed, that knows I am safe, I can soften, I can be supported, I don't need to hold everything alone. And today, we are going to begin teaching the body a new experience. So before we start, I want you to prepare your space. You can lie down on a mat or on a carpet or on your bed if that feels better. You may want a cushion nearby. You can keep your camera off, or if you want privacy, or on if you want me to comment or to check how you are doing. Remember, this is not performance, this is not about how it looks, this is about how it feels. And I want you to remember, small movements are powerful. We are not stretching aggressively today, we are not pushing, we are not forcing the hips open. We are communicating safely to the body. Because a woman who forces her body often forces her life. And today we are practicing a different way: soft, present, attuned, regulated. So I give you 1-2 minutes to prepare your space. And in this 1-2 minutes also you can grab your water, grab the cushion, your mat, anything that you need. Okay, so I will be here. I will just also be changing. I just need 1 minute, so it will be a second and we will continue. Okay, so prepare everything. Let me know in the chat or comments, depending where you are, if you are ready. And remember, you can switch on your camera if you wish for corrections, or you can switch it off if you wish for more privacy. So I give you this second. Okay, so I hope you had enough time to do the change. Okay, I will just adapt. I have a chair around. If you have a chair and you can have it around, would be useful for one of the exercises, okay? Sorry about the lighting, but it has to be from the side. There's nothing to do about it. Okay. Get comfortable, get ready. Okay, so the first exercise is constructive rest position. Okay, so I want you to lie down on your back. Bend your knees, place your feet on the floor, feet about hip width apart, and let your arms rest whenever they feel comfortable. One hand can go on your chest and one hand can go on your lower belly. Okay? Now that everything is set, I will lie down so you can follow up with me. Okay, so we would be like this basically. Okay. And then we can put one hand in the belly or in the chest. We'll move a bit here. Okay, so I can check better for new people joining and accept them. So your legs, okay. And now you need to let your head be supported. And now just notice, don't change anything. Notice your lower back here. Move it a bit lower so you can see how my lower back is, okay? Notice your hips too. Notice your jaw. I'm looking to the side to see if some of you are commenting or saying something. But you should have your head looking up. Okay, a little bit from the side if you have your screen, of course, but that's it. Maybe your stomach is tight, maybe your hips are lifted, maybe your glutes are gripping, maybe your shoulders are tense. Just observe at this moment. All of this is information, no judgment, just notice. And now take a slow breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Again, inhale, exhale. Let the exhale be a little longer than the inhale, not dramatic, not forced. If you are already feeling a little tense on your hip flexors here, now you can change a little bit and you can have your knees together. You can put your knees together and have your feet a bit more apart. And this will automatically relax your hip flexors, okay? While you do this breathing. And keep breathing. Just enough for the body to hear. Feel how your lumbar area is resting. And say, I am not in charge right now. Just let the floor hold you. You do not have to hold yourself so much. Let the ground carry a little more your weight. This is the first lesson of receiving. Before you receive from a man, before you receive support, before you receive love, your body has to practice receiving the ground. And from this exercise, from the same position, we can now open and have parallel our legs width apart. And change from here, we open a little bit, because this one is more of a moving exercise, okay? We're gonna do little pelvic tilts. This is great for releasing, okay? So now we are going to begin with very small pelvic tilts. This is not a workout movement, remember. This is a conversation with the lower body. Keep your knees bent how they are, feet on the floor, and gently tilt your pelvis. You can observe me first if you don't know what this is. So your lower back softly presses towards the floor, okay, like this. Very small, and then release. I will do it a bit faster so that you see it would be like this and this, but this is not the the speed you need to do it. You need to do it more slowly, but it would be in, out. And here you arch a little bit if you can. Just a little bit, not like this. Just a tiny little bit, okay? And when we do in, we try to hold our glutes strong a little bit, okay? So, allowing a small natural curve in the lower back, we go in, we tilt, and release. Very small, very slow. And you will feel immediately how the hips flexors are releasing. And you will also feel how emotionally it will connect you. It will bring some emotions. If it brings some emotion and you want to write it down or journal around it, you can do so. Very slow, we continue. You are not trying to do it perfectly. You are simply waking up the relationship between the pelvis, between the spine, the breath, and the nervous system. Now continue slowly. As you exhale, softly tilt the pelvis. As you inhale, release. Exhale, tilt, inhale, release. Notice if your body wants to rush. Notice if your mind wants to make it a performance. And gently come back. This is not about achieving a shape. It is about reframing and feeling the sensation, reframing your emotions and feeling and returning to sensation. Because many high achieving women are disconnected from sensation. We keep doing because they live in function actually. What do I need to do? What do I need to solve? What do I need to manage? But the body heals through presence. So stay with the movement, slow, controlled, soft. Now, one more time. Tilt and release and pause. Notice now your hips. Notice the lower belly, the breath. Just observe and breathe. And we jump to exercise 3, which is glute activation and release. So now we're going to work with softening, very simple, with it's an exercise that is really simple and it's really softening and it will really bring you the release. So it is glute activation and release. And I want to explain why this is one of the most effective exercises for the body-mind connection. Because the body is bracing because the posterior chain here, all the back part of our body, the back of the body is not supporting enough. And that's why we have usually this hip flexor pain and this emotional issue. We can sometimes create a sense of like grouping, like not really being grounded, you know? And we can create this feeling of grounding and stability when we work with that. And we release through the front of the hips. So when we work with our posterior chain, we release the hip flexors. That's why this makes sense, and you will see it in a minute. Because this is something I noticed deeply in my own body. Because also for me, not only emotionally, but also physically, because I was a ballerina many years of my life, and I still do ballet and I still enjoy it very much. Hip flexors suffer a lot. Also, if you played soccer, they suffer a lot. And for me, it was especially good to do this exercise. Okay, so what we do is we have our bent knees like before, and we squeeze the glutes strongly for a few seconds, okay? Here, and then we release. And in the release, there's the magic, okay? I'm gonna give you first two different options. One that is for advanced, for people who are in shape and don't have any injuries around here. Then another one adapted that is a bit softer, okay? So if you want the full release, the best effect, you will go up like me, okay? If you have no injuries, you will go up and squeeze the glutes very strong. And one, and two, and three. Exhale, release. And now we should put, for a little bit, rest, putting our knees together. Because this will give you even more relaxation. Because when you do that, the hip flexors feel, I'm sustained. I don't need any support because the knees are supporting. This will give the extra. Okay, so this will be the advance, let's say, for the biggest extra release. And the second one is similar to the tilt, okay? So we keep it low around here and we squeeze the same. One and two and three. And we release and put our knees together for extra. Okay, so once you know which one you want to do, okay, once you can try, then we can start, okay? So you can also say things to yourself. Let me change so you see better. Like, for example, you can say nice things like, oh, I feel like a wave of release, like, and say these kind of things to yourself. I feel release. I feel open to receive. Because it is almost like the body exhales from the hips, if you think about it. So let's try it gently. Okay, same position, knees bent, feet on the floor. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, squeeze your glutes. Strong but not painful. Okay? And we hold. 3, 2, 1. And release. Let the pelvis soften. Let the belly soften. Again, inhale. Exhale. Squeeze. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Release. And notice what happens after the release. That moment really matters. Sometimes the transformation is not in the contraction, it is in the feeling after the contraction. Again, inhale, exhale, squeeze. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Release. Let the hips melt. Let your jaw soften. Let the throat soften. Let the belly soften. Now a few more. Squeeze. Hold. Release. And relax. And get ready again. Squeeze. Hold. Release. Feel the difference. You can move a little bit. And last one. Squeeze. Hold. Release. And now pause. Feel. Do you notice warmth, softening, tingling, emotions, or nothing. All is welcome. This is body listening. This is not about doing more. This is about feeling more. And let's go now to the exercise 4, which is 90-90 breathing. Okay, now we are going to move into a version actually of 90-90 breathing. You can place your feet on a chair if you have, I will take one, or a sofa, or keep them on the floor if that's how you want it. Keep it how it is now if you want, if that's easier for you, or use the chair like I will do. If you have a chair, bring your calves onto the chair, okay? I will just do it. Okay, so I have my chair. Yeah. And the chair, you put it 90 degrees. I'll show you better now. Like this, okay? 90-degree angle in all the possible ways. And we relax completely the legs in there. Okay? If it can be a sofa, it can be a chair like me, whatever you have in mind. Okay, so if now you are ready, we will start, okay? Because everything has to be 90 degrees. If not, just stay where you were, it's also okay. And this position can help the lower back soften even more. And it gives the body a sense of support. So place one hand on your chest or on your belly or both if you wish, or even in the ribs. And now breathe into the lower ribs. Not into the shoulders, not in tension, just in the lower breath. And breathe wide. Imagine the ribs expanding from the sides. And exhale softly through the mouth. Again, inhale. Feel the ribs expand. Exhale. Feel the body soften. Now, as you exhale, imagine the front of the hips releasing everything here. Imagine the psoas area softening. Imagine the lower belly no longer needing to protect you so much. Again, inhale. I receive breath. Exhale. I release bracing. Inhale. I receive support. Exhale. I release control. Now we are slowly adding language here because this is where my work combines body, the neurolinguistics programming, and the body work. Breathe. And exhale. Repeat whatever the affirmations you prefer and is more communicating with you right now. So it's breath, movement, language, and identity, of course. On the inhale, internally say, I am safe to receive. On the exhale, I release survival. Inhale, I am safe to receive. Exhale, I release survival. Again, let the body hear it. Not as an affirmation from the mind, but as a message through the nervous system. I am safe to receive. I release survival. Continue for one more, slow, supported at your own rhythm. Keep repeating whatever sentences were communicating more with you during the inhale or the exhale. Keep breathing, just a few more. Okay, very good. So now we do an identity visualization while we are experiencing this regulation of the nervous system. So we can keep lying down. Your body may feel softer, of course, after all these exercises. There are much more, and in the programs we do much more, but today this is what we have time for. Maybe your body feels softer, warmer, heavier, more present, or maybe you simply feel more aware. All is perfect. And now, from this softer body, I want you to meet the woman you are becoming. Not from your mind, from your body. The woman who dates for marriage without panic. The woman who desires love. You can close your eyes for this exercise. The woman who can receive support without feeling weak. The woman who is chosen without performing. The woman who can let a man without losing herself. The woman who can express a standard without guilt at all. The woman who can walk away without collapsing. The woman who can say, I desire marriage, I desire love, I desire partnership, and I am willing to become the woman who can hold it. Notice her body. How does she breathe? How does she hold her hips? How does she hold her heart? How does she speak? How does she date? Receive? How does she say no? How does she say yes? Now choose one sentence, just one. Maybe I am safe to receive, or I don't need to survive love, or I am becoming the woman who can hold the life I desire, or I release survival and return to myself. Choose one and repeat it internally. Let the body hear it. Now your body can really hear. You've opened all the emotional. Let the belly hear it. Let the nervous system hear it again. And one more time, now take a deep breath. And when you are ready, slowly open your eyes, come back gently, no rush. Okay, now I will go back to sitting position so that I can communicate better and remove this chair from here. Okay, so we can come back. We can take a minute to drink our water. Just bring everything back. We'll check that you see and hear good again. Yes. The audio is working, or is it a bit too far? We'll put it up here. Yeah, should be okay. Perfect. So now I want you just to feel and allow your body to understand what just happened. We are just gonna integrate everything that we just did. Because what we just did is not random at all. This is the integration of body and identity. This is really something that will bring you the difference between understanding and becoming. Because you can understand dating for marriage. I'm sure most of you do. You can understand standards, polarity, nervous system regulation. But if your body is still bracing, if your hips, like we work today, are holding, your belly is protecting, your breath is shallow, if your identity is still, like I have to do everything alone, then love will still feel unsafe. And again, this is not your fault. This is not something to shame. This is something to work with simply because the body can learn. The nervous system can learn. Your identity can shift. And this is why I say you do not get there by trying harder. You get there by becoming different. Not faking differently, but embodied differently, regulated differently, living differently, moving differently, available different. And this is the woman who can receive real love. And this is exactly the work we practice inside my work. Because there's one thing that we are starting next week. If you were in the last play shop, you know about it already. We had a little introduction, even a bonus of the founding, some founding bonus for those of you who joined in the last play shop. But today is the real presentation of it. And all of this that we did today brings me to that, to this membership that we open and we start next week. Because I kept seeing the same thing in the ladies who are in my bigger containers, in the highest paying containers of my work. I even saw it in them. They understand the work. They know they need to regulate. They know they need to return to the body. They know they need to stop living from survival. But then they are alone. They don't know what to do with the body. They turn to old habits. They don't know how to practice consistently. They do one exercise once, they like it, they feel something, and then go back to the same state. And your nervous system does not change through one moment. It changes through repetition, through practice, through rhythm, through safety, through returning to the body again and again. And this is why I created the Empress Body Mind Connection Method. This is a life embodiment practice for women who are ready to stop living only in the mind and start training the body to soften, regulate, and receive. And what we do is we meet live 3 times a week: Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, typically, unless some holidays or some little changes. 30 minutes, online, simple, consistent, and body based. This is not fitness, this is not punishment, this is not about becoming smaller, this is not about performing femininity, this is about becoming safer inside yourself. It is about teaching the body to stop bracing, to stop gripping, to stop carrying everything, to stop living from pressure, and to begin practicing breath, somatic movement, hypopressive inspire core work, very important for feminine health, for our wound, for our also our pee retention, for when we get older, for everything for the woman is super important. We also do the nervous system regulation like we just did, body awareness, softness, presence, and the physical capacity to receive. This is for the woman who understands everything mentally, but still feels tension in her body. The woman who wants to feel softer, but not weaker. The woman who wants to regulate, but needs consistency. The woman who wants to reconnect with her body without aggressive fitness energy. The woman who wants a grounded practice that brings her back to herself. And this is also a beautiful entry point if you are not ready for the full mentorship that we do, the full mentorship of dating for marriage, the marriage queen. But you know that your body needs still some support. Inside the Empress Body Mind Connection method, we work with the body consistently so that softness becomes familiar, receiving becomes safer, and regulation becomes your baseline, your everyday baseline. So yes, the investment of Empress Body Mind Connection method is 97 euros per month, around 105 US dollars per month. And this includes the live practices, the recording of them, of course, in case you cannot join some of the practices, this is okay. 3 times per week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 30 minutes. No questions asked, just straight to the work. Somatic movement, hypopressive inspire practice, nervous system regulation, breath, body-mind connection, and consistent support to help your body stop living in survival. If you feel that this is what your body needs, message me after this session. You can simply write me Empress and I'll send you the details. This is not the deep mentorship, this is the practice, the rhythm, the body connection, the place where your nervous system starts learning a new normal. And if that is the level of support that feels right for you right now, this is a beautiful place to begin. I will send you the link, okay? In YouTube, they are asking for the link, so I will just post it in YouTube and in Zoom in the chat. Here it is, Empress Body. So I will put it in the chat so you can check it out there also. Okay, now it is in YouTube and in Zoom. Perfect. Great. Let me know if you have any questions about this specific program. But anyways, at the end, I will make a round of questions for any kind of programs, okay? And now, I also want to speak to the woman who knows, okay, this practice is beautiful, but I need the deeper container. Like I need to have my ring, I need to have my proposal in 3 months. This woman needs, this is not only about the body, this is about my relationships, my dating patterns, my ability to receive, my standards, my identity, my emotional wounds, my capacity to build the relationship and life I truly desire. And if that is you, then the deeper invitation is Marriage Queen Mentorship. Because what we work with today, the body, the nervous system, the identity shift, the capacity to receive, the desire for marriage, this is not something that changes through information alone. It changes through a container, through repetition, guidance, being seen, being supported, being in a community of women who are like you and who want the same. It is through safe depth. And this is exactly why I created the Marriage Queen Mentorship. This is a 12-week transformation container, a space where you don't just learn this work. It's a space where you start becoming the dream woman who no longer has to force, overgive, chase, overprovide everything together on her own. This is not a course. This is not just content. And it is not something you consume passively. It is a transformation container, a space where week by week your nervous system starts to regulate. Your emotional patterns start to soften. Your standards become embodied. And your feminine energy becomes something you actually live from. Inside this space, we move through 4 phases. Phase 1, regulate. Because a dysregulated woman cannot truly receive. She may desire love, she may desire support, she may desire a masculine man. But if her body associates receiving with danger, loss of control, or dependency, she will unconsciously block it. So we calm the nervous system, we create safety in the body, we stop dating, choosing, and relating from survival. Phase 2, release. Then we release emotional weight, old relationship patterns, need to control, need to prove, the identity of the woman who has to do everything alone. Because many women say they want to be supported, but their body is still loyal to the version of them. Sorry, I needed to accept someone. Okay. And yeah, because many women say they want to be supported, but their body is still loyal to the version of them who had to survive alone. Phase 3, receive. Then we open to receive love, support, provision, masculine presence, abundance, not as a concept, but as something your body can actually tolerate. This is where your feminine energy starts becoming natural again. Not performed, not forced, embodied. Phase number 4 of the program is rise. Finally, we rise because this work is not just about getting a man. It is about becoming the woman who can hold the life she says she wants. Your purpose, your direction, your beauty, your standards, your capacity to receive more. This is the woman I call Reina Interior, inner queen. And what is the investment for this mentorship, this 12-week online mentorship? It is, of course, not 10,000-15,000 US dollars. I think this kind of program should be available to everyone, and I know that it's not available to everyone. But it can also not be 500, 1,000 US dollars, because then people don't take it seriously. And I want you to do this work. Also consider what the value is, because the value is really 10,000-15,000 US dollars. But I want you to enjoy it at a more reduced price, because I want it to be accessible to everyone, either to pay in full or to pay installments. So the investment is 2,997 euros paid in full, around 3,050, 3,100 US dollars, depending on the day when you buy. Or you can divide it into 3 monthly payments of 1,100 euros, around 1,200 US dollars. And this includes the full 12-week process, weekly live calls, like really long calls where everyone has a chance to speak and say what they need, and we do live hot seat coaching so that we can all get an experience and we get to heal together. The somatic work, the emotional release, the feminine embodiment, the polarity work, purpose, direction, and private community support, of course. And now, something I started noticing while speaking with many women in the program or outside of the program, thinking about it, is that some of you don't just need to do this work from home. Some of you need to leave the environment where you are always producing, always holding, always responsible, always available, and you need a space where your body can finally exhale. A space where you are not the one organizing everything, not the one carrying everything, not the one managing everyone's emotions, but a space where you get to be held, where you get to soften, where you get to receive, where this work moves from your mind into your body. So for this first edition, I decided to open something deeper. For a very small number of women, the Marriage Queen Mentorship will also include a live in-person immersion in the south of Spain. This is the founding immersion in Malaga. And I want to be very clear, this is not just a retreat. This is not a vacation. This is not just a beautiful escape, which of course it is. This is the in-person integration of the work we do during the 12 weeks. It is where your body gets to experience what we have been working on online, being supported, guided, held, witnessed, being in your feminine energy without having to perform. Because when your body experiences safety deeply enough, something changes. The full immersive experience includes the complete online 12-week mentorship, a spot in the south of Spain immersion, accommodation in a private villa, all meals during the retreat, in-person sessions with me, deep somatic, emotional, and feminine work, an intimate group of women, and a space designed for you to soften, receive, and integrate. Flights and personal travel expenses are not included. This is for the woman who knows she's done doing everything from the mind. The woman who has understood so much but still feels that her body is holding. The woman who is ready to stop surviving in her feminine energy and actually experience what it feels like to be supported. It's for the woman who doesn't just want to understand receiving, she wants to live it. The investment for the full immersive experience, the 12-week mentorship plus the South of Spain immersion is 4,500 euros. You have two options. You can pay in full and receive a reduced investment of 4,350, or you can divide it into 4 monthly payments, 1,150 euros every month, and it's 4 months. This gives you more spaciousness and it allows you to enter the process without having to pay everything at once. You have two options to enter this work. You can join the 12-week online mentorship. This is perfect if you want the process, the guidance, the nervous system work, and the support from home. Or you can choose the full immersive experience. This is for the woman who knows she wants to go deeper, the woman who wants the online process, and also wants to experience the work in her body, in person, in a deeply held environment. Neither option is better. It's about what your body knows is right for you. The immersive experience is very intimate. I'm only opening now and at this price 6 spots for this South of Spain immersion because this cannot be a large group. For this work to feel safe, I need to know the women inside. I need to feel the group, and the container has to stay small. So if you feel called to the immersive version, this is something we will explore privately. The immersion will take place in south of Spain, in Malaga, connected with international airports, and it is already an international airport connected to everywhere. And at the end of it will be at the end of September or beginning of October. And later, there will be likely another European edition in spring, in a more refined setting. But this immersion is the first one, the founding one, the most intimate one, and it will never exist in exactly this way again. So if you feel called to this, I don't want you to overthink from the mind. After this session, I'll open private conversations. We'll look at where you are, what you desire, and whether the online mentorship or the full immersive experience is the right for you. This is about alignment. If this is for you, your body will know. You can reach out to me after the session. I will also Copy the application link and send to everyone, and we'll explore it together. You don't need more information. You need a space where your body finally feels safe enough to stop controlling and start receiving. That is what the Marriage Queen mentorship is for. And for the women who are ready to go deeper, there is the immersion, the retreat. And if what you need right now is the body practice, the rhythm, the consistency, the return, then Empress Body Mind Connection method is here. 3 different levels of support. One same direction, from survival to receiving, from overthinking to embodiment, from wanting love to becoming the woman who can actually receive it. Thank you for being here today. So I'll open now for questions in YouTube and Zoom. So let me see. There is some questions. I will give some minutes for YouTube because I know it's a little slow. Okay, someone asked from YouTube if the Empress Body Mind Connection method, if what happens if we miss a few lessons. Nothing happens because everything is recorded and it will be uploaded and you will have access. So right after the every session, everything will be uploaded to the portal, and there you can do it when it's more fitting for you. It's actually not needed to be live. Okay, I'll check for more questions. Is there a payment plan for Empress Body Mind Connection method? No, it is not a payment plan, but it's a membership. So you pay 97 euros per month, and that's all. And you can stay as many months as you like because it will change. It is not fixed, but it will change and evolve with how we are doing. So you can stay 10 months, 12 months, however you like. Okay, ladies, so we will close it for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I will explain the bonuses, okay, for joining a fast in the program, for signing up before the end of tomorrow, and are also bonuses if you buy any of the programs before the end of this week. Also, there will be some bonuses for those of you who are completely committed and decided. Okay, ladies, so see you tomorrow and have a nice rest of the day.